Hey everyone, Pastor Chase here. I am so excited to celebrate your graduates this year. So here at Cottonwood Creek, we do Senior Celebration Sunday in order to celebrate, but more importantly, to commission your graduating seniors into the next stage of life. We realize that students are doing all sorts of things in the next stage of life, whether they're taking a gap year, they're going straight into the workforce, maybe a technical school, maybe the military, or maybe they are going to college. And so as a church family, we are going to take this opportunity to commission them, to celebrate them, and to pray over them. Specifically on Senior Celebration Sunday morning, we want our church to be able to collectively pray for your child. And so we're going to have them up on the stage, and there's going to be a moment where John Mark just leads the congregation in a prayer over your child. Now, prayer is going to be so important in these next stages of life because the reality is they will face temptation and darkness. They will face other beliefs and worldviews. They might even become friends with some people who try to lead them astray. And so you as a parent, I know that you are already bathing your child in prayer, but now this is our opportunity as a church to see your student and to pray for your student. And so Senior Celebration Sunday is an opportunity for us to create space for you to send your student off well. We realize that life is busy, and so Senior Celebration is going to give you an opportunity to pause and to reflect. Getting ready for graduation is hectic. We realize you're getting all the invitations for the grad parties, you're going to other people's grad parties, you have to look at all the orientations, all the summer camps for your child's next stage of life, or you're helping them get a job, or you're helping them get into the military, whatever it may be. And so we want this Sunday to be an opportunity for you to pause and to reflect and celebrate what the Lord has done in your child's life. And so in order to do that, we are encouraging you to write a blessing letter for your child. Now, it's not every day that you sit down and write a letter for your child. And so what this video is going to do is I'm going to give you some main points to help kind of organize the way that you should write this blessing letter. It's very important that all of you do a blessing letter because during the breakfast on Senior Celebration Sunday, we are going to give you guys time as a family to present these letters to your child. Now, let me tell you, you do not need to give your letter to me for approval or proof, or I'm not going to be grading your letters, so don't panic or don't freak out. This letter is simply for you and for your child, okay? So you don't need to turn it in, nothing like that. It is for you to celebrate and bless your child. Now, I have several points, just kind of headers, if you will, ways to organize your paper or your blessing letter. The first thing that I would suggest that you do is to celebrate. So when you think about celebrating, your child is 17, 18, 19 years old. So think about all the accomplishments they've had, but not only what they've done, but who they've become. Think about those characteristics, those attributes, those qualities that you see in your child that you are just so proud of. And then also use that language. Tell them that you are proud of them and that you love them. Sometimes we, as parents, even though we mean well and we love our children well, sometimes we just overlook the fact to say, hey, I'm proud of you. And so during this time, during this portion in your letter, when you're celebrating your child's accomplishments and their character, take the time to say, I'm proud of you and I love you. Now, the second point in your paper, and some of you might have this, some of you might not, but confess. Parents, none of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. We have all made mistakes in parenting. Parenting is one of the most difficult tasks that the Lord has given us. And so if there's something that you feel like you should confess to your child, maybe you've mishandled something, maybe you haven't served them well enough, man, take this time to confess to them, apologize for ways that you have wronged them. Maybe between you and your child, you've got some kind of lingering brokenness. Take this opportunity to confess your part in that brokenness. And parents, I realize this is a weird thing to kind of do, but I encourage you, it is a gospel thing to do. So that's part two. The third part of your letter should be a challenge. What are your hopes for your child as they enter into the next stage of life? What are some ways that you want to see them grow, whether that be in their character or their ambition or their next stage of life, whatever it is? And press them to grow in their faith and keep their eyes on Christ. As they go into this next stage of life, it is going to be one of the most difficult things. There's going to be distractions thrown at them all of the time. And so I want you to challenge them. Keep their eyes on the Lord. Find a new church family if they are moving away. If they're staying here near Cottonwood, and encourage them to get connected with our college ministry. And then also within your challenge, correct them. Correct them if you see them going down a wrong path. Maybe they have already taken their eyes off the Lord, and correct them and challenge them to keep their eyes on the Lord. Now, the next section of the paper that I would really encourage is give them advice. So think about you. When you are graduating high school, going off into the next stage of life, what advice do you wish you could give yourself? Take some time and think about that. What advice would you give to your child? That could be spiritual advice. It could be practical advice. It could be, hey, don't forget to wash your sheets type advice. Whatever that advice may be, take some time and give them some advice as they go into the next stage of life. And then one of the last sections is pray. And write out your prayer. Because families, your child is going to take these blessing letters and they're going to keep it. And so for them to see a prayer that their family wrote for them will be impactful and so meaningful. And then also something cool with these blessing letters is if you have some really close friends or family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, or just really close family friends that you want to include in your blessing letter, invite them to write something and you can add that into the letter as well. And so those are the main kind of points, the outline, if you will, for a blessing letter. Celebrate, confess, challenge, give them advice, and pray. And then if you want to include stuff from friends and family, I highly encourage that as well. And so parents, we pray that Senior Celebration Sunday will be a huge blessing for you, your family, and your child as a time where we get to celebrate the 18 years that they have been under your roof. And I realize as your baby is going into the next stage of life, there's a lot of anxieties with that. And so I want to remind you, trust in the Lord, cast all your anxieties on Him because He cares for you. The Lord will keep them and protect them. I'll see you guys on Senior Celebration Sunday.